Hello, this is Barb at Studio B. We're doing a daily painting again today. This time I'm kind of designing on the fly today. I was going to paint this cute dinosaur bunny, but I received my essential stencil yesterday in the delivery, so I really want to see how this works. So I have a 10 by 20 canvas, and the stencil I'm going to use today says Our Nest. So I'm going to do a picture of a nest in a tree, and then we'll add this at the end. So yeah, so now this is the designing process. I need to decide if I want it above a nest. I was thinking a branch with a nest, and then maybe some blossoms on the branch, and then this could be, I think, above it. So that is my plan. When you come on, go ahead and say hi. So yes, if you're interested in these stencils, I'll put a link to where you can find them, and I even have a code to give you a little discount when you purchase. So if that's something you're interested, look in the description at the end. Okay, so I just put this on. It's white with the blue, and I did a crisscross type brush strokes. I dried it a little bit. So now I'm going to decide how I want my nest. So I'm just going to lay this on here just to kind of use that as a guide where that is going to be placed. So I think if we have, use this pencil, if we have a branch that's coming down like this, helps to do sound effects, right? If we have a nest, or sorry, a branch coming in and parts of the branch going out, and then have our nest maybe right in here. I don't know if you've been watching, but there are a pair of eagles in, I believe, Northern California, in the Big Bear Valley National Park, I believe, or state park. Well, anyway, sorry, I don't know those facts. But I've been watching this pair of eagles. They were sitting on their nest, and then, you know, they had all that snow, and then it got sad, all the viewers that were watching this live cam of these eagles, their eggs, they had 2 eggs in their nest, and then the mama realized it before the daddy, but it's been real sweet to watch them. But then they realized the eggs were no longer viable, so all of us that have been watching that daily have been in mourning for a little bit, but recently it's been noticed that they are starting to rebuild the nest and get it ready. So happy turn of events for all of us that were in mourning for them. It's been really cool to watch how nature handles even a snowstorm. But yeah, during that snowstorm, she was hunkered down on her nest, and she would be covered with snow, but she didn't give up. So anyway, I thought you might enjoy hearing a little bit about that. If you want to know more, leave it in the comments, and I can share the link where I found that. All right, so I'm just kind of placing in where our branch is going to be, and I'm just using burnt umber. Picked up some black, and there's a little bit of white that got on my brush, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that. So tell me how you've been enjoying these daily paintings. I know there's just a few of you that can make it during this time, but there's the replay. So I hope you've been enjoying this. Just gonna kind of fill in, get the basics here going. I do have a request. I shared this just a little bit ago, but I would like to know tomorrow if you would like for me to paint this dinosaur bunny or a unicorn bunny. Those are the choices. I'll only do one tomorrow, so if you could either say dinosaur bunny or unicorn bunny, let me know which one you want me to do tomorrow. So I'm not really thinking about what type of bird this nest is for. I'm just kind of making it what I think a generic nest should look like. But if you wanted to do something more accurate, you could always research the type of nest, and yeah, just think of the basic shape of it first and then start adding the different layers of color. A couple of years ago I did a little, I don't know if I can reach it from where I'm at, I did a little not animation, but start stop, what is that called, start stop photo shoot of a bird flying into her nest, and as if she came back to the nest, and then she had to do some spring cleaning it out. So that was fun to develop a character and give her a little broom and a little broom and shaking out a rug, you know, as if she was spring cleaning her little summer home. So I think that's good for the first layer. Are you getting out with your little ones to do an Easter egg hunt this weekend? I know some communities are doing that this Saturday. Sounds like a fun time. We don't have little ones at the moment, so. Okay. Now I'm going to lay in a little bit of white on top of that. It's not super strong. This would be fun with using a palette knife, I think. You would get more thick texture of the bark. All right, I think, see if I have my palette knife here. I do have one here. I think we could do that with this. Let's see, let's get a little more white out. And let's see, I don't have that other brown in here. Oh, yes, I do. So this is designing on the fly today. So I'm going to add some burnt sienna to my palette here. And I had to set the camera up different, so I hope this isn't sideways, a sideways view for you. Let me see if I can see. Nope. Okay. So I'm going to take some of this burnt sienna. I'm going to come in here using this palette knife. And this is kind of fun. I don't want to scrape into it. It's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like frosting a cake. You don't want to press too hard, like with your frosting tool. When I was little, it was just a butter knife, but you learn pretty quick you don't want to push down into it, because then you'll get into the crumbs. And this paint palette knife is kind of the same idea, unless you're trying to get in and do some scraping for whatever design you're working on. Alright, hey, what do you think of that? Whoops, I just did some of that scraping. See what I did there? Okay, now you have to have sound effects sometimes. Alright, yeah, that's good. Now I can maybe give this a little highlight of that color, because that is made out of twigs and string and whatever else they found to build their nest. So let's see. I'm gonna come in here and kind of, oops, it still had paint on it. That's okay. Just gonna kind of clean that edge up a little bit. Don't have to get too fussy about it. I mean, it is sticks. All right, I'm going to give this a little blast of air, so if you need to cover your ears or mute the sound, that would work. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're done, if you muted. Alright, now I'm going to come in and put some pretty little blossoms. This is a spring tree, so we can have some fun things happening. I'm going to have a little squiggly stems coming off. And you can use, so to do this, it would be good to have a paint that flows easily, fluid. I can get there if I add a tiny bit of water to my brush. Let's see. Or you could use a high flow paint. All right, that would be cute right there. Just building our own little world here. I don't know if it means I've reached a certain age, but I've really started to enjoy watching these different birds in the backyard. I have white on my brush. I'm just going to kind of place where I want some blossoms before I come in with color. Help me with a plan here. So this is a cherry blossom stem I did a while back, but this is kind of what I'm going for. Set that right here. So that means my blossoms would be a little bit more rounded. If this is something you would like to do at a paint party, it's going to be available. So let's keep our fingers crossed that this plan works out well. I think we're off to a good start. And of course we can always tweak something if you didn't want little cherry blossoms, maybe you want something else. I have some that are just kind of little dabs. It can be easy to get carried away, which I have done often. I'm going to make some that look like they're kind of in the distance there. All right, let's keep it simple. I'm reminding myself, keep it simple today. Just gonna kind of make sure. Yep, we'll be okay. You will be okay. So the stencil would be the very last thing would do, because I want this all to be really dry. Now, do we want pink blossoms or yellow blossoms today? What are we feeling? I have not done yellow blossoms this season. I'll get some yellow out of here. All right, I'm going to give this a little blast of air. So here we go. Sorry for the noise. So I put out this, it's really thick. This is cad yellow. I'm going to add a touch of white to this. This is a fluorescent, so I'm not really certain that's what we would want for our little tree here. Go ahead and start putting in some pretty yellow blossoms. See, if we just put the yellow straight down on our canvas without having the white, it would be very hard to see. Let me show you. Just having that white really helps. But if you want something that's kind of muted, you wouldn't have to have the yellow or the white on there. Just some little tips. I want these to look like they're kind of wispy, almost paper thin, delicate. That's what I'm going for here. And they can be a little bit varied in how much yellow they are. The white that we put down first, still a little wet. That's kind of helping. All right, 22 minutes in. It's not too bad. I'm going to add a little red in the center. Just a tiny dot. I still have a little of that red on my brush. We're just going to go ahead and go with it, see what variations happen for us. Now, if you definitely did not want that, you would need to wipe your brush on your cloth. This is the one that we did not have any white in, and see, it's just kind of hard to see. I think it's in the picture. Yeah, it looks like we're okay. I need to fix this. So I'm letting the shape of this brush help me with the shape of my petals. And then sometimes I'm turning it to me, which is the point down, which is backwards to me. If you want a different kind of smushed shape. Let's see, what has this kind of flower in the beginning? Would it be like a apple tree? All right, I'm gonna do a rinse. Now our nest, the center looks a little, I'm going to put a little bit of black in there just to kind of show that it has a bottom. And try not to get into our warm brown there. Gonna carefully tap that in. There, I think that gives it a little better. Okay, I'm going to step back a moment, see where we are. Looks like we could add a tiny stem right here. And you can have you don't have to do the whole line, you can just do little dots. Your eye will know that's what it's for. And sometimes there's nothing there yet. All right. Maybe we have a bed there that isn't not quite ready to open. Let's see. Let's put one in. We'll do that with this one. I'm going to keep it yellow, and then I'll go around it and make the little, I want to say crowns that hold it, but I'm not sure if that's the right word. All right, how are we doing on time here? If you could tell me in the comments, is this a sideways view for you, or is it upright? I will be able to make adjustments when I put in the replay, but I'm just curious how it looks with you viewing it right now. So, okay. Pretty good. Okay, we're going to dry it one more time, then we can put our wording in. Give myself a little more room. Gonna lay it down, make sure that's somewhat straight. Give it a little anchor here. Now, I left my stencil brush upstairs. That's okay, I'll survive. I'll survive. All right, so let's see. Maybe white letters? I don't really want to do black. So I'm just going to go up and down to get our wording on. One more place, see if I, oh yeah, I do have a stencil brush. This will work better. There it is, our stencil brush. So I have some white on there, and I'm just going to tap it in. You do not want huge blobs of paint on your stencil brush. That would be very noticeable when you lift this off. And I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to do like a little pounce. And you can do, say, white, and then add another color. You can do several layers with this to get the effect you're looking for. These stencils they're nice and thick. They clean up well. You can reuse them. We could have a stencil party. We could have different stencils that you could use. You wouldn't have to use all the same one unless you want to. So which one do you think I should do tomorrow? The dinosaur bunny or the unicorn bunny? Which one would you choose? Now I'm going to come in. I'm going to add just a touch of black to the white here. Just add a little bit of that to give it a little depth. I went to look for the little makeup sponges, you know, those triangular things that come in a pack, and I could not find them. I don't know. I'm not a regular to use them when I put on makeup, so maybe that's something that they don't make that much anymore. But that would be a good applicator to add your paint with, and if you didn't have a stencil brush. Alright, we're getting close to our reveal time here. See how I did. Tap, 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 tap. This is therapeutic in itself, I have to tell you. All right, are we ready for the reveal? Oh, that works good. And if I wanted to add more color, I would very carefully put that back on. So yeah, let's see. I like it. It needs a little more though, doesn't it? All right. Let's see if I can get this back on here. The better way would be to leave one side taped. There we go. I think it needs a little more color. We can incorporate all the colors that we have in our picture. I'm gonna add a little of this yellow. You might be thinking, oh, what's she doing? Don't do it that way. If you wanted to do this just in black for the crisp wording, you could do that. Adding just a little more depth here. All right, I'm going to be smart and lift up just one side. That looks better. I like that better. All right. So let me know in the comments what you think about this, our design we did on the fly today. We could do a little more in our branch here, and you could use a palette knife. This is, they come in different shapes. I really like this one because it's pretty versatile. Maybe I'll come in, add a little bit of texture and groove to our branch here. So this paint is called Soft Body Acrylic Paint. It will take longer to dry, but this palette knife, it's fun. Let me tell you, it's fun. And I want to keep the delicateness of our flowers. You could even do the flowers with another shape palette knife. Oh, here it is. There's one that actually has like the little petal shapes. So let's see. Could come in if you like a lot of texture. Just as a little demonstration here on the bottom. Look, they look like they're about to lift off of our picture here. And like with this bud here. So anyway, I hope that gave you some ideas. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.